Donald Trump's cabinet pick has a bit of a dark secret, and it definitely appears to be a secret that he would rather go away. Does anybody know what this dark secret might be? Police report details alleged sexual assault by Trump's defense pick, Pete Hegseth. Hegseth's main defense is that he was not charged. His attorney said the report's description of surveillance footage, where the woman met Hegseth, and police interviews with other people at the hotel prove his innocence. But here's where it gets a little bit messy. The allegations emerged last weekend when Hegseth confirmed he had paid an undisclosed amount as part of a settlement with his accuser. In a previous statement, they said Hegseth strongly felt that he was the victim of blackmail and innocent collateral damage in a line that the complaint was holding on to keep her marriage intact. The report said the unidentified woman, who later went to a hospital for a sexual assault exam, confronted Hegseth because, quote, she did not appreciate how he treated women. The woman said she was drinking a small amount of champagne at an after party, but didn't remember having any hard alcohol. She and a group of other women went to a bar attached to the hotel, and that's where Hegseth was allegedly also present. That's when things got fuzzy, she told police. When she left the bar, she said Hegseth followed her. She assumed because of their earlier argument, according to the report. She told police she remembered Hegseth saying he was a nice guy. The woman said she then found herself in an unknown room. She told police that Hegseth asked whom she was texting and took her phone from her before physically blocking her attempt to leave the room. Jane Doe remembered saying no a lot, the report said. Jane Doe's next memory was when she was on a bed or a couch and Hegseth was over her. Some of these details are pretty gross that I'm not going to read. The woman said she does not remember how she got back to her hotel room, which she was sharing with her husband, and that the alleged encounter with Hegseth didn't dawn on her until she had returned home. 4 days later, she went to the hospital for an exam. Hegseth, in October 2017, told police that the event was consensual. He said he had not planned to initiate sex with her and that he, quote, thought it was odd she stayed in his room. Why does that just sound fishy to me? I'm skeptical of that. That just, isn't that like what all the creepy guys say though? Like, yeah, she liked it though, or she wanted it, or she was giving me the sign. Hegseth told police he and the woman would both stop and say, we shouldn't do this, though they mutually continued, according to the report. Afterwards, Hegseth said the woman said she would tell her husband she had fallen asleep on a couch in someone else's room. She showed early signs of regret, Hegseth said, although he did not elaborate on what those issues were or what those signs were. He continuously is saying, the matter was investigated and I was cleared. But then why was there a payout? Just so you know, it doesn't work the way that a lot of people think. It's not like, oh, I'm going to just randomly sue this person and they'll just pay out real quick. No, they usually will pay out if they feel that there's enough evidence that if it goes to court, it could be bad. So really, really strange stuff. Definitely a he said, she said kind of situation, although Hegseth's account does not sound as believable, to be fair. Hegseth ultimately decided to enter into a settlement for a significantly reduced amount at the height of the Me Too movement. Well, what do you guys think? These are definitely some concerning allegations, and really not that surprising for the Republican Party. But it even gets worse. The New York Times is now being scolded after they leaked an email that Pete Hegseth's own mother wrote to him in 2018, accusing him of mistreating women. Now, since this email has leaked, just to be completely clear and transparent with you guys, Pete Hegseth's mom has said that she's not the same person anymore, or her son isn't the same person, and that she apologized for that email. She didn't mean it, all this kind of stuff. So in the initial email in 2018, Penelope Hegseth wrote to her son, Pete Hegseth, saying, quote, on behalf of all the women, and I know it's many, you have abused in some way, I say get some help and take an honest look at yourself. I have no respect for any man that belittles, lies, cheats, sleeps around, and uses women for his own power and ego. You are that man and have been for years. And as your mother, it pains me and embarrasses me to say that, but it is the sad, sad truth. Ooh. As a grown-ass man, if my mom sent me a letter or an email like that, I would take a long, hard look in the mirror. Even if it did come from a little bit of anger, that's my mom. That's the person that is gonna most likely support you no matter what. And if she's telling you this shit, maybe it's time to listen, or at least just take a step back, you know? Now, of course, Penelope Hegseth is trying very hard to do damage control now for her son. She says the 2018 email did not reflect Hegseth's character. It is not true. It has never been true. I know my son. He is a good father, husband, she said. So she added a follow-up message where she apologized, admitting the initial email was sent in anger with emotion amid Hegseth's divorce from his second wife. Okay, but it doesn't mean that what she said is untrue. And now she's saying Pete Hegseth is a changed man. So he was at one point that bad man, right? When you were mad at him, he was the bad man then. Pete Hegseth's mother has responded to criticisms of her son and expressed regret over sending a 2018 email that has further marred his prospects of becoming Donald Trump's Secretary of Defense. And yes, that's true. Apparently, the Trump administration is actually floating Ron DeSantis to take Pete Hegseth's spot. On Wednesday, in an interview with Fox News, Penelope Hegseth defended her son, saying, Pete is a new person. He's redeemed, forgiven, changed. Okay, I mean, listen, it's good that they've changed. Happy to hear that, sure. But if you wrote him that email in 2018, and the allegations of his sexual assault were in 2017, and now you're saying he's a changed man, it kind of sounds like you're saying back in that time, he was a little bit of a creepy, sort of abusive guy. We all believe in him. We really believe that he is not that man he was 7 years ago. Dude, she keeps doing it. And then she says, I am not that mother. And I hope people will hear that story today and the truth of that story. What is the truth of the story? Just, no, I didn't do that, even though I paid her a bunch of money. And yeah, I said it. But when I said it, I was mad. So what? Well, I said it, and now he's better. Okay, so at one point then he was really abusive towards women, which in and of itself is a little bit concerning only because of the position of power he is about to be given. She says, don't you think everyone has regrets as a parent, Penelope Hegseth said when asked if she felt guilt over sending the email, which has led to increased criticism of her son. We've all made mistakes. We've all, and I would challenge anyone who thinks they're qualified to throw the first stone. Oh. Sexual assault, it's a little more than just like, oops-a-daisy, silly me. Well, I'm gonna try better tomorrow. You live and you learn, you know? I guess the, like, we've all made mistakes does apply more to her saying, like, the email, I sent it, it was a mistake and everything. Okay, fine, but, like, now it's just so many mixed signals. First, there's the original email. Now then it was a complete 180. Now it's, well, actually, he kind of was that piece of shit guy back then, but listen, now he's better, he's changed, he's redeemed. Please, I'm different. I regret it, I feel bad about it. Please, like, it's just kind of all over the place. Pete Hegseth has also faced allegations of sexual misconduct, mismanaging 2 veterans organizations, and binge drinking during his times as a Fox News contributor. Penelope Hegseth, you're not really the greatest source. And even though these allegations are not confirmed, and even though right now it's a lot of hearsay and misunderstandings and whatnot, he could literally just get kicked out of the job just because of the controversy. Trump might just not want to deal with it. So this is obviously Pete Hegseth's uphill battle, and we're really just going to have to sit back and watch the clown show unfold and get your popcorn and just enjoy the circus, you know? Whether it's Pete Hegseth or Ron DeSantis, we're pretty much all just on a downward trajectory. That, of course, is a joke. I'm being a bit doomer there, but the guy is, Pete Hegseth is just, he's an unqualified buffoon. Somehow he was given this job, probably just because he sucked Trump off enough. And now, like, even his mom called him a piece of shit, and now she's just, like, desperately trying to walk back on it. It's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the Trump campaign. That's really what it comes down to. If you want to support the channel, please consider becoming a member today. Members get early access to videos, access to all the stream VODs, and exclusive access to emotes as well. So if you'd like to support the channel, become a member today.